Hello, welcome to Solex Nation. You know what? June is in full swing.
Yes, and what does that mean? That means for the month of June, well, our incentive is that when you enroll a new person, a new preferred customer, or a new QLA, then that new enrollee actually gets to redeem a ticket for the next day of discovery. That's at least $150 value.
Yeah,
right?
we've never done that before.
No,
that's a big incentive.
We've never done that before. And just forecasting here, I'm pretty confident we're going to sell out.
We will sell out.
We're going to sell out of the day of discovery this month, most likely as we close to the end of the month. But let's talk about the details here. That new enrollee, when that person enrolls with the device, which is the mobile, the tablet, the combo, or the Bluetooth headset, and they set up their subscription for the AO scan technology, then they are going to be emailed a coupon to redeem and register for the event.
It's very important that they register for the event. If they do not use that coupon and register for the event within 30 days of receipt, then they will not be on the list to come to Day of Discovery, and the tickets will be sold out. So make sure that if you are enrolling somebody, you are very clear on those rules and that you pass that on. And speaking of that, when you enroll somebody, make sure that during enrollment, they keep the little box checked that they would like to receive corporate communications. If they uncheck that box and they say they don't want to receive communications from us, then they will not receive that email with the coupon code, and then it's a disaster.
Yeah, just total disaster.
Total disaster.
Because then we won't see them, and we won't be at the party together. No, so that what we do want to make sure is that that's a fun incentive, that you're using it, that people are excited and making plans to come out and be with us at a live event. We've talked about this before, but live events are just unique. They're just so fun, not just because of what happens at any live event, but more so even what you guys do amongst yourselves, like the connections you guys make, the friendships you deepen, and actually the new relationships you make as well are so valuable throughout the year.
It's just, there's nothing like our live events. So make sure you're coming. If you don't already have tickets for that, now's a good time to go in your back office and purchase those tickets. Now, I do want to say we have not forgotten about our Australian friends.
Yes.
So
good call.
Yes. Now, we have a Day of Discovery in Australia, and that is November 9th through the 11th, and that is on the Gold Coast. More details will be coming soon, but we don't want to leave you out of the June incentive.
Right. Yeah, we've heard already. I mean, there's the new Australians that enroll, and actually others around that area that would prefer to go to that event instead of the United States, because obviously it's a bigger distance to travel, to come all the way to the U.S. The option to opt for the Australian event is right there available to you too. So that new enrollee in Australia, for example, that has a qualifying order, they can actually redeem that ticket for the Australia event.
That's right. So we look forward to seeing you there. You know what? Let's talk about Punta Cana. It is coming right up, and the qualification period is about to end. But you know what? If you haven't qualified yet, you're not too late. Now, before we talk about that, though, let's just show a little video about Punta Cana. Let's talk about Punta Cana. We are getting to the end of Punta Cana. The Hard Rock Casino and Hotel at Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
I love that. I've been there.
I have too.
Yeah, it is a great resort. We loved it. Everybody we've talked to about it on opinions.
Exclusive. How many restaurants were there? Like 7 to 9. I can't remember exactly how many.
And then a bunch of pools, and then a massive ocean.
So many
all private,
pools, beautiful ocean. I mean, it was absolutely a dream vacation. And so now you get to go. Now remember, to qualify for Punta Cana, you have to have an increase of at least 15 people in your direct line for a trip for 1, or an increase of 20 people in your direct line for a trip for 2. And you have to have that increase for a 3-month period, including the month of August 2023. Well, we're coming up on June, so if you haven't hit that yet, is all hope lost?
It's June. June, July, August. If you haven't hit it yet, there's still hope. This month is the month to get that net increase of 15 or more and make your way to Punta Cana.
You don't want to miss it. It is going to be a wonderful time. We're so looking forward to it.
Yep. Let's go to Punta Cana. Let's all go together. Let's have a blast. We want to see hundreds of you there. All right, we're so excited. This contest actually has been running since last year, right? And it's about to end. But like you said, we have not lost hope. We have the last few months right now. In fact, if you're just starting, June still is a qualifying period.
Oh yeah, if you're brand new, you are still coming to Punta Cana. Start now.
Yep. We've had a few questions come in just to clarify. What is that 15 and 20 number? We're talking about a net increase of preferred customers or QLAs with 100 points or more for 3 months, one of those months at least being August.
Yes, and those are in your direct line.
Yeah, your direct line. Perfect. So that means if you've had a few people, like let's say January and February, they had the 2 months and you were getting towards that 15 number or at that 15 number, go back to them. This is a chance to get them back on for a third month, right?
Yes. If they qualified for a couple of months and they're no longer active, like I said, go back to them and just make sure that if they can qualify by renewing their subscription in the month of August, they count towards your increase.
Yeah, and to make it even clearer, let's just say it's a net increase. What does a net increase mean? It means the total. Of course we care about the individuals involved, but we're not tracking by name. We're looking for a net, a total increase of 15 to whatever your baseline is. And so that can be made up of a bunch of different people in order to achieve that net increase.
Let me give another example. Can I give another example? If you last year, before this contest even started, had some people that were in your direct line and they were active, and then they dropped off before August of 2022, they did not count in your baseline number, okay? So those people, if you reactivate them, could count towards your net increase if you have them qualify in the month of August 2023.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for the net increase.
Yep.
I think we're just going to confuse people if we keep talking more.
Yeah. Well, if you have questions, call into customer support. They'd love to help you.
All right. We had a contest last week.
We did. I loved reading these.
Yeah.
So we asked you to go onto our YouTube channel under the general chat and give us your testimonials of playlists that you have used.
Experiences
that you've had with playlists. And those were, some really, really cool ones. You want to go first?
Oh, no, you go first.
Okay. So the winner gets something that we've never given away before.
Yeah. So we're going to ask for a playlist for something that actually Loran Swensen is going to put his, signed, sealed stamp of approval and everything on it, right?
The person who designed Cephii is going to make a personal playlist for you. We just need to know what you want that playlist to be about. Yep. Okay, Leslie Ray. I have many playlist success stories, but after Deb's talk and Kai and Shelby mentioning their granddaughter, this seems like the best one to share. My granddaughter had anaphylaxis and was in the ER. I was playing great playlists that I've used for those in the same scenario before, plus others, and she kept lapsing back into the anaphylaxis. Then I thought to play my miasms playlist, and within 20 minutes, she was improving and kept heading upwards from there and was released shortly after. Having the ability to clear miasms is amazing.
That is amazing.
Good
I love
thinking.
that. Yeah. And sometimes that's just the experience, right? We go through, we think it might be this, and we just kind of work at it until we find a solution.
That's so true. How many times have I heard someone say, it's not working or this isn't working? Well, maybe it's not the frequency that your body's wanting.
Correct.
So keep trying.
That's it. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. All right, Sabrina Gonder. Sabrina says that I was in pain the other day, so I ran Cephii Pain Custom Playlist. And shortly thereafter, 30 minutes, she notes, I noticed that my pain was gone.
That's amazing.
Yep, that's it. It's as simple as that sometimes, right?
It is. All right, last one. Yeah, have a couple. This one is Frequency Soul Collective. When I first discovered the AO scan, I suffered terrible tension headaches. I created myself a playlist and ran it each time I had a headache. Over time, my headaches got less and less. Originally, I could get up to 3 per week. Now I roughly get 1 to 2 a year. I'm going to create a playlist called Weekly Draw Winner and run that till next week's call.
And you won.
Are you kidding me? Playlist work.
That's awesome. You know what? That's cool. I mean, even going along with the testimonial that we're going to show in just a minute, this is a good experience that there's so much in the playlist
Yes.
that you can set up and be aided by.
That's right. All right. Well, congratulations to our 3 winners. Make sure you email customer support and let them know what you would like Loran to concentrate on in making your playlist, and we'll get those right out to you.
All right. Top enrollers for the week of May 29th through June 4th.
Yes. I cannot believe this, but we actually have a tie for second place.
No.
Yeah, we do.
We've never had a tie for second place. All right. Timna's third event, congratulations. She's in a tie with
Alexia Suarez
and Mary Roman
and Marisa Corliss
and Chelsea Barlow. Wow, that was a big tie.
Yes.
Not just a little tie.
Congratulations, second place. You all did so well.
And our first place winner.
We have 1 first place winner, and that goes to Wendy Skinner.
Congratulations, Wendy. You're going to receive the Solex Silver Coin.
Yes.
You're part of the Legacy Group. Congratulations. Well done. Great hard work. Right? Kicking off June, right?
That's right. All right. We had a surprise visit the other day from 2 QLAs. They were actually just stopping by the office to pick up some stuff. They're here. They were visiting from Texas. They had ordered some things, and they made the mistake of telling us about some experiences they had.
Yeah. Like I just happened to run into them in the hallway, and they started to talk and say, "Hey, let me give you my." It started out with, "Let me give you my testimonial," and I said, "Whoa, boss, let me go get the person who's in charge of this." And I went and found Shelby, brought him, and what did she do?
Put him in front of the camera.
Right here, right here, and we said, "Oh, now you're going to get on YouTube."
We were really grateful to them for sharing their experiences. So we asked them to share their testimonials with you, and so we're going to watch those next.
Hi, my name is Carolyn Bishop, and I wanted to share a story with you about the use of AO scan technology. My friend introduced me to it, and one night my husband, I had been having phenomenal success, gaining more clarity and focus, and so I had fallen in love with it. And my husband got a migraine headache, and his experience, he would have he got to where he had several migraine headaches a week, and they were very debilitating. He would not, don't talk. He'd have to have silence, a black room, and he'd have to sleep it off, spend the night in bed, and then he might feel better in the morning, but usually a tired head that he'd be suffering. But he didn't tell me, and he said after a while, "No, I have a headache." I was like, "Oh, let's do." This has been 3 hours. He's had this headache, and he was thinking of going down for the count. "Let's do a scan on you." And so he said, "Oh, okay." So he does a scan, and by the time it finished optimizing, the headache was gone, completely gone. He had nothing. And since then, he knows to go for a scan if he gets a headache, one of his headaches. And they're not always that quick right away, but we just get in on the scanner tool and pick out the appropriate things for him to support what we've already done. And we have been able to get rid of them every single time.
Hi, my name is Jessica Thornock, and I was introduced to AO Scan in February of this year. I had done some scans last year, just hand scans, right? And it's a similar type thing. So when I was introduced to this, it was mind-blowing because I could do scans for everyone in my family instead of just me, and the price of the subscription was the same price as a one-time hand scan that I had done the previous year. And there were lots of health issues I was trying to figure out. That when I did scans, they were completely validated in the scans that I was doing. So I want to share with you how I read the reports. I go through before I eat, if I use it to help me know what to not eat at that time. And I just don't eat that food for that time. And then I go further to the chakras. And if there is on the left side a chakra that is still not in balance, I will muscle test to see which emotion within that chakra is contributing that. So I could keep a track record in my mind of the things that keep showing up as patterns. I do it right after I run the scan. And so I just keep that track record in my head. And there's some similarities. So for example, I am on a trip now. And so I made sure I scanned in, imprinted in my tinctures before I came so that I can give my children them because they were having congestion issues before we came. And even when I got in the car right away, I was having throat issues because I kind of get issues when I go on trips. And it was completely validating. So for example, when I did a scan and some chakras were still not balancing, most of them were. In fact, almost all of them now, they'll end up all balancing. But sometimes, for example, the throat didn't. And so I just muscle tested through the emotions that are linked with the throat that are right on the report that you can see. And it came up as voice. So it made sense because my voice was a little hoarse. And that was a few days ago. And through using the tinctures that it recommended, my voice is great now. And it's cleared away from using what the AO scan recommended tincture-wise. And it just helps, it just helps me focus my mind to the patterns that show up every time. And with my kids, it's especially validating in that way as well. So for example, it's just very comical sometimes with the little things that can maybe keep a chakra from staying out of balance. I also muscle test for the meridians, and that's even more fun because it gives emotions and the physical ailments that are linked to that. And it's usually right on target with what I already know we're struggling with. And then I can go into Cephi and find any other frequencies that might support that. And then perhaps body systems. And I've seen a lot of validation with the body systems and running those for my husband, right? Because I have a family of boys. And so as you all know, it's kind of hard to, sometimes they want to suppress a lot, right? Even with girls, right? But I don't know how that is to have a family with girls. I also glance further down in the report at the blood and the vitals and the bacteria and everything. And it's usually, I don't, there's so much on there, right? But I just pay attention to what I know I'm already experiencing. And if I see it in there and I have something I can use to treat that, then that's what I focus on. So I don't get overwhelmed with all the other things like, oh no, there's these other parasites. I don't know what to do now. I just kind of keep that track record of, leaving my mind open to, if it ends up showing up over and over, then I will leave my mind open to what might come into my environment on what will help heal that. And I hope that has helped and can help you guys to know how to read reports. Thank you for your time.
Today we're going to start with vitals. Vitals is the second module in the AO scan. The AO scan has 4 modules: inner voice, vitals, comprehensive, and Cephi. And everything else in the scanner evolves and involves those items, one or all of those modules. But today we're going to talk about vitals. Vitals can be a little overwhelming. When you first do your vitals, there's so much information. So what I would like to do is show you and maybe help ease some of the angst that comes up when you do your first vitals, maybe even your 10th vitals. It's not so hard, it's not so complicated, and it's definitely not something you need to worry about. Vitals, we're looking at the frequency signatures of the chemistry in our body. Now, we're not measuring your blood, we're not measuring your amino acids and your vitamins and your bacterial loads. We're looking at the frequencies that those things represent in your body. And remember, just like a blood test, a vital scan is a snapshot of that moment in time. Things change. Our blood, our emotions, our chemistry is always in that web and flow. Like when you go and draw your blood, If you just ate, an hour or two before, it's going to affect how that blood test looks. Just like if you sit down to do a vital scan, and you haven't drank some water and take a few minutes to relax and breathe, that's going to affect it too. It's a snapshot in time. So let's go to the screen here. You click on vitals, fourth button down on your menu, and it lists the different categories. And you'll notice that it comes up that all the categories are pre-checked. Now, when you're doing an initial vitals, you definitely want to have all of that done. But to change that, all you have to do is just over to the right, you see a little button that says deselect all. You just push that, and as you can see, all those check marks go away. And then you can just select whichever category you want to scan. Okay, so we'll select those back. Okay, so before we go through the scan itself, let me show you a tool that's amazing. Up at the top right corner of your screen, you'll see a little blue circle with a question mark in the middle. If you click on that, it gives you some instructions about the vitals. Really good information. And right below there, there's a video. And if you click and watch that video, it's just a few minutes long. It helps reinforce everything I'm going to show you here right now. This is there for you. It's particularly good when you're first learning how to use your scanner, but it's amazing when you're trying to show the scanner to a new person. Like if you're sending somebody an Alpha 3 pass, somebody that's going to be doing this on their own first time, make sure that they click that little question mark, read the description, and watch the video. It'll make their experience so much better. Okay, so we'll go back now. We're back at the main screen here. Now, I've already done the scan so that we don't waste that time in this training. We've said in the past that doing a vital scan once a week is generally sufficient, and that's true. In fact, I don't even know if you have to do it every single week if you're doing your quick scan or easy scan. But when you first get your scanner, the more times you can scan, the faster your system learns you. Remember, your scanner is learning you. That's why we tell you don't ever change your profile. If you grow or you shrink, you gain weight, lose weight, none of that makes any difference. All that profile was to generate a unique signature, just like your cell phone number. You'd hate to change your cell phone number because nobody could get a hold of you. You don't want to change your profile either. So the more often you do that, the better the system learns how your body responds. And so I wouldn't think it's a bad idea for you to do the first time you get your scanner, do a couple times, a morning and an evening for 3 or 4 days in that first week. Really let the system get to know you, and you get to know your system. But once that is done, once a week is generally sufficient for any of these scans, okay? For the full scans. Okay, so let's just go down through here real quick. In your list, you have food sensitivities, you have blood, you have chakras, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. You have gastrointestinal function, you have meridians, you have nutritional analysis, you have physical functionality, and you have toxicities. Those are the sections. Now, maybe if you're not feeling well, maybe all you want to do is maybe just your blood or maybe just your gastrointestinal. If you've been out on a trip and you've been out of the country and you've eaten all sorts of weird stuff and drank weird water, you might want to go down and do the toxicities and just see what's there. But for me, once a week, I'll do my whole scan. I just click it and do the scan. The scan takes just over 2 minutes to do a scan and optimization. Okay, so it doesn't take a lot of your time. So we've already done the scan, so we've done all this. Let's just go down to the report. Now, if you look down at the bottom of your screen, you have 2 report options. These are important. Enhanced report's going to give you detailed information. In other words, it's going to give you a number between 1 and 9. Now, as we've explained in the past, the numbering system of 1 to 9 means that 5 is where you're in balance. And in normal scans, 4, 5, and 6 is what we would consider your normal. Normal low, normal high. Anything below 4, so 3, 2, 1, is progressively not functioning or not where it needs to be. 7, 8, or 9 are progressively under stress or inflammation or something that needs more attention right away. Okay, so that's how the numbering system works. Now, sometimes that can get confusing. You see a 7 or you see an 8 or you see... I would recommend that if the numbering confuses you, just go to your classical reports. It just shows you it's in range or it's out of range. As you get more comfortable with your scans, as you get more comfortable with looking at them, then you go look at the numbers. That can kind of help you connecting the dots when you want to do a deeper dive. So let's start with this. Now, on food sensitivities, that's the one that you never need the enhanced report on. I would click classic because it's just simple. It's in or out. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean you're allergic to it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Basically, when you see a red, that means it's probably a food that would be harder for you to digest or to process. Doesn't necessarily mean you're allergic to it or that you can't eat it. It's more work than it's more work than the benefit you're going to get from it. If it's green, it means it's open game. Okay. There was an individual that had gone on a trip and ate lobster 3 days in a row. And before this individual sat down to eat the next day, she did the little sensitivity and lobster came up as a red. Now, we know that that individual wasn't allergic because they'd been eating it for the 3 days before. But it determined enough was enough and we were going to skip that day. That's how you should look at your food sensitivities, is if it's red, avoid it. If it's green, it's okay. Simple. Nothing to worry about. You're not allergic to it. You're not going to die if you eat it. Okay? Just go through that. Now, on the others, if you scroll down, food sensitivity is big. It's over 200 items that we're looking at in here. And it's amazing, the information it gives you. But then you get down to your bloods. Now, here again, if it's your first few times going through this, I would stay on the classic reports because the numbers can be a little confusing. If it's red and it didn't change, so the symbols you see on the right that are in the gray columns, that was before optimization. The ones on the left that are in the white boxes, that's after optimization. So you can see here, my HDL-C started out of range. Now, I don't know if it was high or low. It wasn't in balance. But after the optimization, whatever it was, it brought it back into that normal range. Now, I don't know if it was normal low or normal high or just normal, but it's normal. Does that make sense? And so when you see something now, if you look down here at total cholesterol, it started out good and then it went to red. Does that mean that the scan made it worse? And the answer to that is absolutely not. What it means is under the total cholesterol, that energy there was in excess. It was imbalanced enough there was extra energy that could be used somewhere else. That's a little bit of a stretch to understand, but it's just kind of like sharing resources. That's all that is. And so when you see it go from green to red, you never worry about that. When you see it not go from red to green, it stays red, then you say, okay, I'm going to watch this over a few days. And if it stays like that, then I need to pay attention to that part of my diet or something in my daily activity. Okay. Again, if it doesn't change on one scan, you don't worry about it. You watch it over the next few scans and to see if that trend stays the same. Okay. All right. So you go down through your bloods, chakras. Now, this is one that has caused a lot of discussion in the past. Chakras and meridians both. And they somehow think that that's somehow new age or really weird stuff. It is no more weird than a glass of water is weird. Look at chakras as your circuit breakers in your house, and the meridians as the wiring that runs through the walls. There's nothing mythical or mystical or voodoo about this. It is just the way the energy flows through our body. A chakra, when it's out of range, that means it's closed. And whatever energy is flowing through that chakra has been stopped or at least hindered. So chakras, when we look at that, it just says, okay, my throat chakra or my heart chakra. And if you read down here, it'll tell you, okay, when that chakra is out of range, These are some of the physical and emotional attributes to that. And it helps you understand, okay, maybe I'm not able to voice how I feel, so my thought chakra is stopped. See, these are just ways of helping us keep ourselves in a more holistic balance. So your chakras are an amazing tool to look at. Same with your meridians. So if you see a meridian that's out, that means that particular meridian, there is something blocking that energy flow through your liver, your legs, or your circulatory system. Look at these things as guideposts along that highway to good health. And again, right underneath your meridians, you'll see explanations. If that meridian, the lung meridian, is out of range, it'll show you these are some of the conditions. And if you have those conditions, or you're experiencing some of those things, then we know that we need to do some work in helping get that done. And acupuncture is a wonderful thing for chakras and meridians. You scroll down through your thing, you get down into your digestive. This is so important. You know, sometimes people think they're having a heart attack and really all they're having is really bad indigestion, or the reverse. And so this is a really good report to look at. Am I having issues here that I need to pay attention to? I need to make some dietary changes. You see, we're not having to get into the weeds in this. What do I need to change? What do I need to change in my diet to make it better? Vitals is so important, and that's why we call it Vitals. It helps us understand at the foundational level of what we need to do to get our health back where we need to be. It goes through your insulin, your pancreas, your digestive enzymes, macrominerals, microminerals. Again, you look at those over time. You don't just, I've got arsenic high here. It doesn't. You might have just ate an apple. Apples are rich in arsenic. What you want to do is look at it over time, always over time. Okay? And then take a look at your physical, your basic physical. That's going to go through your vagal nerve, your hydration, the physical parts of our body that are out of range or can be out of range. And then it gets down into bacterial and gets into toxicities. Vitals is a great place to start to see where we can make changes in our life, emotionally, dietary, and just the way we think. So Vitals is a great tool. Use it, learn it, understand it.
You know, it's been great having Loran on these last several weeks where he's gone in depth onto key parts of the scanner. Those videos, actually, the updated videos within the basic training.
Yes.
And we also have them
on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube, so people can look at them, share them, forward them to people who want to know more about Vitals, for example.
Yes, yes.
So with Vitals, what did you want to say?
We just want to know in the comments. Now remember, not in this live chat. If you're watching this during the premiere, don't put your comments in the live chat. Put them in the general comments on the YouTube channel under this video. We want to know. Do we have
non-general comments?
Yeah, the live chat.
Oh, is that the non-general?
Yeah. So we want to know what is vital to you in your Solex business. Or if you're not doing the Solex business, what is vital to you with your Solex experience?
Yes, love that.
Yes. And so we want to know the answers to that. And we are going to give 3 winners next week. Blue agate bracelet.
The new blue agate bracelet, which is just launched in March.
Just brand new, and it has the Cybin beads, and I love the color. And
it has the magnetic beads, and obviously has the...
It matches your Cephi dots.
The blue agate.
How is this a bad thing?
Yes.
So put your comments in there, and we will draw 3 winners next week. So we look forward to seeing you there. I don't know what's next.
Okay, we're back.
So on that one though, you and I, on that one.
I thought she was going. So
on that one. So now.
Yeah, we had some people just randomly stop by the office.
No, we have top enrollers.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
Kai messed up again.
Oh, it's going to happen to you right now. Dang it, you didn't screw up. You didn't screw up at the end.